It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we've got the two teams who met in Super Bowl 47. The action is only moments away, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
We are about 40 miles or so south of Candlestick Point at a place that first opened back in 2014 as you get a look at Levi's Stadium here in Santa Clara, California. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
It's a rematch of Super Bowl 47, -1 Harbaugh. The Ravens and 49ers are underway. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. Number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
And he remains the league's premier rushing threat and one of the biggest playmakers among quarterbacks. His goal each and every season, continue to expand his game as a passer and become well-rounded. All those highlight reel plays you see, they come off the fact that he can run it, throw it, and scares defenses every time he takes a snap.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, 2nd down.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold him to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
2nd down, they go again with Henry. Fighting through it, he's got space. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore 1st down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
A 1st down carry for Henry. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and 6. They'll run it again with Henry. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. Well, now after all of this, hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Jackson to Bateman there, 1st down Ravens.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
First carry now for Justice Hill. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a 1st down.
I love football lingo and the evolution of it all. Nickel defense makes sense, right? 5 defensive backs. But then you go to 6. What are you going to call that? And they call it a
double
dime. A dime, which is just very simple for them. The math doesn't add up. But I know one thing, offenses love to run against dime defenses. Typically, the bigger guys have an advantage against the smaller defensive backs when they're blocking downfield.
And we saw that advantage right there. Nick Bosa using that speed to get in there and break that play up.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Hill going to try the right side. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Calling no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Tucker's kick is good, and the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. Even though they didn't find the end zone, they have to be pretty pleased with how they moved the ball on the ground, because we know that that was one of their big goals in this game.
And that really goes through the entire offense, because when you're running the ball effectively, just about everyone's involved. It's not just the guy carrying the football. It's everyone blocking for him, both inside and on the perimeter.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And they'll be led out by their 3rd-year quarterback.
And you'd think as a young QB there'd be some nerves leading an offense out to start a game, but haven't seen any sign of them right now. And speaking with him earlier this week, sensed that the pressure wouldn't get to him. He feels comfortable being the face of this offense and shouldering the expectations on game day, even if he doesn't quite have the years of experience other quarterbacks do.
Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10 at their own 24. They're going to look to throw. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there, because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he's going to have a Niners first down as he's got this up to about the 34-yard line. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll bring a tight end in motion left. Purdy now to throw off the play action. That's complete to the tight end, Saubert. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. They'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a first down.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Purdy. Open man is Juwan Jennings. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
In motion left goes a tight end. Play action, and now here's Purdy to throw it. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 32-yard line. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Again, it's Purdy to throw it. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Now a 2nd and 10. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll go down at the 28. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Purdy looking to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that goal is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
Here's Purdy. To the back of the end zone, but too high. Over everybody and incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. McCaffrey will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. Call it a gain of a couple. The defense stiffening here. It's 3rd and goal. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2. Now Purdy. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And the Ravens come up big down at their own goal line. They kept it in the air on 4th, Charles. They ran on 1st and 2nd down, tried it through the air on 3rd and 4th. Couldn't come away with anything on 4th and goal.
And remember, in these situations, the field is really condensed. Everything is squeezed tight. So as a defender, you can actually take more chances here because they won't have as much time to throw the football, and a receiver really can't run past you. If they do, they run out the back of the end zone. Nice job by the D, shutting them down.
They start the drive on the ground with Hill. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And that run, that changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to punt the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive.
Here's Hill again on 2nd down. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. 42 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight, and so far it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
So he stopped for no gain, and it'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. It's Hill, complete. Now he's loose at the 40, inside the 20. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Justice Hill, 77 yards, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield of the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. So that drive, 4 plays, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Another run with McCaffrey on 2nd down. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
3rd and 5. Back to throw, Purdy. And that went to the right side and incomplete.
Well, they've moved the ball okay here in these first 2 drives, but this one's going to, again, amount to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish drives with points.
On 4th down, the Niners trot out Mitch Wishnowski to punt the football. Back deep is Steven Sims. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. The Ravens offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this first half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him because he is eating them up right now. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start by running the option to the right. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a 1st down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
Final 30 seconds of this 1st quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football. To throw is Jackson. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
$10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. In motion, Aguilar. Now it's Jackson. He finds Bateman over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Throw right side here, taken in by Bateman. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Now Jackson. He's got his target. That's complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 15-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Jackson. Being chased out left. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the 1st, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Hill, touchdown, Baltimore. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. He's got it, and it's 17-0. That time, a 9-play drive. And the end result was the touchdown run by Justice Hill. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they can't bring him down. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Throwing here, Purdy. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Purdy now to throw. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Dafe Owe showing off the pass rush skills.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
So on fourth down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Play action. Now Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up second down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
So 2nd and 4 from the 22. Now a shotgun handoff to Hill. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Jackson now, work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Ravens first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Throwing is Jackson. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 50 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium, because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Now 2nd and 9. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
Timing is so important on a route like this, because he's going to line up out right, then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late, because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Now it's Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Hill. And he will have a Ravens first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Jackson. A short one there, caught by Likely. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well, because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the first down.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9. In motion left here, one of their tight ends. Here's Jackson. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. To throw again is Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So it's 4th and 1. They wind up taking the 3, but I'm not sure that offensive unit, judging by the sideline, Charles, was in 100% agreement with the decision.
No, not at all, but the head coach has final call on this. We know that. But let's face it, offenses want to feel like, hey, you believe in us, let us go for it. We'll see if that is a problem for them moving forward in this game.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And San Francisco gets set to go here.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Purdy. That one thrown across his body, and it's incomplete.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Purdy will set up to throw it here.
That's caught downfield by Kittle. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one covers 29 yards, first down.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Purdy looking to throw.
Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Play action. Now Purdy.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They were maybe hoping for a little bit of a back shoulder fade there, and that's a play that's been in vogue the last few years in all aspects of football. But they couldn't get the hook up there.
2nd and 10. Here's Purdy.
Open man is Samuel, complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 23. Now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
Once more, Purdy looking to throw. Throw out wide is incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Samuel going to go in motion right. Now Purdy. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will move the deficit from 20 down to 17.
Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and trailing it to break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board, give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback.
4 seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just one snap of the football.
And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. They stick on the ground on first down with Hill. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up, ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter.
And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Shotgun now with Purdy.
Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Has not been a big game for him throwing the football. I think he feels like, let's try something different. Let's use the legs here and see if we can make some plays.
And no passing touchdowns, yardage not where he would like it. Try something new. It worked there.
Back to throw, Purdy.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. He'll wind up getting just a yard, and it'll be second down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Up the gut, McCaffrey. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner, because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the third quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on here to punt it away.
Oh, the return is Sims.
It's a 45-yard punt and 8 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6. Well, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
A shotgun handoff to Henry. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
And, Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive. Off the option, here's Henry.
And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the 1st down carry.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down at 6.
Jackson, option right. 4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a 3rd down.
2 straight 4-yard runs, and it is steadily working the ball downfield. To me, they're staying right on schedule. 1st down, you want 4 yards or more to set up the rest of the drive. They're getting exactly that.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now.
They'll bring a tight end in motion left. Here's Jackson to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 45-yard line. Jackson to Andrews on that one. First down, Baltimore.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Henry up the middle. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Henry again on 2nd down.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Now Jackson. That is caught, and they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. How about 25 yards on third down? They'll take it.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive, but this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right. To throw is Jackson.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the Niners are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he's going to get this from the 6 out to the 12. A pickup of 6 as they double their workspace.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
2nd down and 4. Throwing here, Purdy. He's going to drop this down to McCaffrey.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Purdy now to throw.
And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10.
Purdy, he'll get this underneath to McCaffrey.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Back to throw again. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away.
Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Ravens offense and Lamar Jackson set to take over once again. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
A big mistake last time they were on the field, tossing that interception inside the red zone and really taking away what had been a pretty successful drive up to that point.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any question about it. As they head out on the field for this drive, that whole offensive unit is just thinking redemption. You know, they moved it really well, didn't pay it off. This time, they want to make sure that ball ends up in the end zone, and they're the ones possessing it.
From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd down and 7. Off the option, here's Henry.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the 3rd.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game, and I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
3rd and 2.
They'll bring a tight end in motion right. Jackson now.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 43. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Jackson from the shotgun. A short throw caught by Andrews.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their #1 goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the 4th. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. They'll run. It's Henry.
And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line.
A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11.
As I take a look at the clock, I realize that this drive has eaten up a good portion of the fourth quarter already. Got to tell you, partner, when you're trying to salt away a game, this is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
They'll send a tight end in motion right. And now Jackson will look to throw it.
A short one there, caught by Likely.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
And coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Now an option play on second down.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first.
So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
In motion, Aguilar.
Throwing is Jackson.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
And power running here down to the 6-yard line.
64 yards rushing for him now to this point.
A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Jackson. Flush to his right. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line.
And Nick Bosa so quick on the outside. He gets in there to bring him down.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away.
And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Throwing to start the drive. Purdy.
He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. Out of the gun, Purdy.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
In motion right, Debo. Purdy.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Credit that sack to Travis Jones.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Flushed out right. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Kyle Shanahan doesn't care much for that last call, so out comes the red challenge flag.
Previous play is under review.
The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to give the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
Play action. It's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it's second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down.
Now a 2nd and 6. Off the option, here's Henry.
And he's going to have this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Niners 16. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he will have a Ravens first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
In motion left goes a tight end. Here's Jackson. And he's got him. Got his man on the in route. Complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that will bring up second down. Jackson. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson A 6-yard touchdown run as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
Now, this defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number one.
It should be number one, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone.
Tucker with the extra point, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. That time a 6-play drive, and it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field.
And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up. Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Purdy looking to throw.
Keeps himself upright.
Well, that to the sideline and incomplete. Boy, they're going to say there's a receiver in the area. That was close to grounding, but it's 2nd down.
Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan and especially the execution.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
The Niners on 3rd down. It's been a problem, just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. In motion left here, one of their tight ends. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Connects with Kittle underneath. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column, but as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Here's Purdy.
And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey.
And he'll be taken down after a pickup of about 7 as the clock will stop here for the 2-minute warning.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd and 3. Again, it's Purdy to throw it. That's caught. It's McCaffrey again.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Purdy will set up to throw it here. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Purdy from the gun. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down.
Purdy sets up to throw again.
And that is incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. In lieu of the sneak on 4th and inches, they just say, give it to the big man in the backfield.
Yeah, fullback no less. Not many of those left in the NFL, but for those that have one, perfect time to use them. Perfect time to get it done.
Now Purdy.
Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Niners passing game in sync now. They've got another first down.
With this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline, because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants this lead to stay right where it is.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Santa Clara.